Bonjour, Canada. I want to remind everyone that politicians cannot direct front offices in a democratic society. But make no mistake, with the Emergencies Act, the RCMP will intervene. Everything is on the table because the way the Montreal Canadiens run their franchise has to end. And it will end. The absolute safest way for this to end is for fans to return their season ticket packages now. If you're still participating in buying tickets or watching on TV, you're hurting your neighbors, especially if you have kids watching with you. The NHL is governed by laws, regulations, and practices that ensure that funds cannot be used for borderline criminal activity. And these firings, hirings, and trades should be illegal. I want to be very clear. Marc Bergevin holding our team hostage and the collective Canadiens fatigue we are all facing are two very separate things. If you continue to support the Habs because you cannot stand the idea of rooting for Ottawa, you now need to understand that you are supporting the Molson brothers. The consequences for that are becoming more and more severe. You can be ridiculed by friends, family, and neighbors, or lampooned on Twitter, which will affect your job, your livelihood, and even your ability to travel to the U.S. to visit the Stanley Cup. We've heard your frustrations with this team. We have heard you. Go home. It's time for the federal government to take over control of the Canadiens. This ownership, this front office, they're not the story of the 2022 season. Bergevin and Ducharme are not the story of the Canadiens in 2022. From the very first game, we Canadians have stepped up to be there for one another as we watch them play. We're tired of this season. It sucks. We're frustrated, worn down, no more worn down than our defensemen on the top line who have been going flat out all year. Everyone has Canadiens fatigue, but we will continue to do what Canadians do best. Randomly announce that we stand united. This season has sucked for all Canadians, but the Emergencies Act cannot and will not allow the Canadiens to be the laughing stock of the league. Lastly, let me be perfectly clear about what the Emergencies Act does not allow us to do. The federal government simply cannot appoint Guy Carbonneau as GM, top-line center, and coach. We all regret and rue Bergevin and Ducharme, but Martin St. Louis is a real leader who will get us through this crisis in our country. Our long national nightmare will be over.